Hey folks, it's your boy Iceberg Bricks. That's your boy BX Bricks. What's good with you,
What's up?
man?
What's up? Yeah, man.
So we back again, explaining a build explained. So what are we explaining, Jermaine?
Well, we have episode 5 where we have the megacity challenge. So we are tasked with building huge skyscrapers, and everything is about height, color, and story.
All right. So storytelling, skyscrapers, and that wow factor, right? All right. So we the episode starts and we're running again to a table. Doesn't matter which one you pick because they're all blank canvases.
Right,
So we
right.
rush over to get a table, and I grab that pad and I'm all automatic. I'm in my dream world, right? I'm not thinking about the time. I'm not. I'm not at all, bro. I'm not thinking about the time on the clock. You're at the brick pit and I'm dreaming up dream world. I'm making Disneyland on this daggone pad. And when you come over, you say,
Bro, you have way too much going on. You're trying to create a little mini city inside of the whole mega city.
"Yeah."
You had like 12 to 16 buildings
Yeah, I
right
did.
there on this tab. Bro,
I did.
what are you doing?
I dreamt about that in my sleep, man.
It is
I,
crazy that, like, I tell you this and you're like, hmm, like, you're like, all right, if we divide it up, then we'll be able to knock it out. I'm like, well, there's 14 hours on that clock. Hey, one building,
right.
really big, then we can work everything else out later, but
Yeah. Yeah, I choked, man. I ate a peanut butter sandwich, man. I choked, man. I should have started off with the tall building from the jump. And my tall building was the last 2 hours of that 14-hour build. And because what I was building was a little bit, I don't know, the judges came over and they said I'm getting a little too blocky, too boxy. So by the time I wiped my table off, it was about 4 hours to go in that 14 hours.
now
And
let's not glaze over the fact of what the original idea was.
yeah, it was
Because we would have been caught in a whole nother baby gate situation.
yeah, you ain't lying. So the original thing was that we were gonna build this office plaza. It was gonna be this megaplex city, and we were gonna have emergencies throughout the city, like fires, medical, all this stuff, right? Because I'm a first responder, so I'm trying to incorporate some things that I know into a build. And lo and behold, Tyler and Amy are building a city just like that, a fire one, a police one, and a medical one. Man, I'm glad you talked me out of that garbage.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's not garbage. I'm not going to say that. But we were going to sit there and you said, let's call it Emergency City. I
Uh-huh.
was like, well, let's call it Emergent City.
Right.
And then I'm like, all right, well, what ideas do you have? And you're like, oh, this guy's going to be hanging out the building and it's on fire, and this person needs to get saved, and that person over there is dying, and there's cats burning alive. I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. We can't have all this depressing stuff on TV, bro. Like, why is everybody dying and hurt? Like, I get what you're saying, but let's not do that.
Right,
You
right,
know?
right.
And
I'm
it's
glad you
good
talked
because
me out of it, man.
we didn't even know that Tyler and Amy were building something of a similar theme
No.
until late in the line because they spent like the first they spent hours planning it.
Right. They spent
And
hours planning it, and even so, like their building didn't amount to what it was, right? Because it was futuristic style. So what does a futuristic police station look like? What does a futuristic medical station look
right,
like? You
like we
know.
didn't know what they were building until they actually explained what their build was. We just saw this huge geometric shape going up, and we're
Yeah.
like, all right, well, we don't know what that is at all. Like
And
I thought it was like a patriotic thing, but
it looked like a genetic code, like one of those genetic codes
yeah,
that
like a
where it's
DNA
all wrapped
strain.
around like that. Yeah, one of those DNA strains. Yeah, yeah. That's what it looked like. It was man. It was a geometrical dream. You
Yeah,
know.
it was dope.
It was. But I'm glad you talked me off the ledge, man. Because you imagine explaining that for a second week in a row.
Yeah, they would have like disrespected us and kicked us off the show just for GP.
Right.
Just for GP.
Because we're not being creative enough.
Yeah, we're not standing out, you know.
It's like, look, we're not standing over there, and we're not the New England Patriots where we're spying on people and trying to figure out ideas. Some stuff just gets bumped around a bit. It does.
Right. Take 14, to 18 people and stick them in a room and say, build a city. There's bound to be people coming up with the same ideas to some degree.
Right.
We all have to build buildings. How many different themes of buildings are there?
Yeah, absolutely, man. So you took me, you talked me down off the ledge. I said, look, maybe I'm too involved in this. Sketch me something out so we can plan to it. And you sketch.
So what we're going to do is we're going to have these buildings. It's still like an office type of plaza type of thing going on, but it's going to be a winter themed city.
Right.
And I wanted to do that because I wanted to kind of piggyback off of the fact that for the theme park, we completely stood out by making the whole thing Egyptian themed, the sand all over the place. So I want to see if we got to put our builds together again. I want it to stand out from the rest of the city.
Right.
Our city's going to be covered in snow, and we're going to have pops of color. You had your building, the original building was supposed to be like an office type of, like where it has stores on the bottom.
Stores on the bottom and apartments on top. Right. Not the way I kind of planned it. But what? Honestly, man, I apologize to you because, my head was still in my ass the last challenge, bro. And I wasn't talking to none of the producers. Remember that time they came by to the table and they asked, could you do this? Can you do this? Or what do you think about this? I looked at you, you looked at me, and we continued building.
Yeah. People don't realize, the type of pressure, because we don't know if the judges are, giving us critiques to actually guide us or to deter us away from what we're trying to do.
Right.
Because, at the end of the day, we know that they're trying to just make good TV.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's up to us to play victim to how the judges are being used as pawns to guide us, in the wrong direction or the right direction. But
an old pretty girl came over. What's the first thing she said? She said, I want to see colors. I'm going to see lots of colors.
They actually complimented you on the color usage in your building at first.
They did.
And I was like, God damn it, why did they do that? Because now he's going to keep building.
He's going to keep going. But you should have smacked me and said, look, I don't know what the hell you doing, dude. Just build. You should have just said, just build the Avengers Tower, bro, and just call it a day. No. You should have said, just build the Avengers Tower, just call it a day.
I'm like, bro, leave the color up to me. I got a dope idea.
Right.
I'm gonna do something blocky. I'm gonna have the geometric shapes in there.
Right.
I'm gonna take care of the color. You just work on the building itself to where it's super tall. Right. It's super dope. It could be gray. That's fine. I'll take care of everything else.
Right. Yeah. So we 14 hours into it. And they did us dirty, dude. And you know what? I'm not even sure if we allowed to talk about it, but I don't even really give a But we went extra long. We went extra long. On the first leg, and I'll say it like that. On the first leg, we went extra long, man. It was like we was on set by 6 a.m. and we didn't leave set until almost 10 o'clock that night.
Yeah, because we had to finish up that in that one day. We had to finish up the judging in the last half of episode 4, and then straight after lunch, we jumped right into episode 5.
Right.
And we did like a 9-hour stint to the point where they had to stop and feed us dinner now.
Yeah.
We were
there was no cameraman in there, man. It was all like tabletop.
Yeah.
And bro, at that point, my creativity was down a pooper, dude. I'm stacking something up on top of that ugly building, man, and I end up asking you to help me take it off and on the second leg. That's dude. Can you help me take this thing off?
As soon as we came back from dinner, you're like, bro, I got an idea, and then you're building a bigger building on top of the it's it's wider and like I'm like that doesn't even how
Right,
does that fit?
bro. I don't know. I was eating a big peanut butter sandwich because I choked, man. I choked big time. I ain't, when I mess
I,
up, I know I can admit, yo, I messed up, and I'm telling
right.
America, look, I messed up.
But it was pressure because it's like we're trying to build something big, and you're thinking of different methods of being able to build something quick. So you went from just stacking bricks to building a skeleton to then put plates on,
Hmm.
thinking that we could just kind of repeat that process
Right,
and just plate up the windows on the outside or something.
right. That's what I was
But then
going for.
it
Yeah,
became too heavy for the blue and orange building below it. So yeah, we had to scrap that.
yeah. So I scrapped that, capped it off, and started on the glass building.
Right.
So when I
Because
started the glass building, we
it's
were like 2 hours. We had like 2 hours left into the 14. So
yeah,
it went up fairly quickly, but I just didn't have the time to put the people in it. Um,
yeah.
and so they give us at that point they give us the twist. But before we talk about this twist, let's go back to the Lego building that you started, the 2x3 and the 2x4. Just give us some of the details, because here's what's up, America. They're trying to I guess this show's painting us like boo boo the fools, like we don't know anything, we don't know any technical stuff, and we're not creativity. Tell them the creativity that you alone put into those Lego buildings.
So immediately after learning about how to use the treads from episode 4, which they didn't show you guys either, I said, all right, what I want to do a moving waterfall going throughout two buildings. It's going to be a black 2x4 standing upright,
Hmm.
and then a gray 2x3 standing on that cat corner, and then there's going to be a moving waterfall going throughout both bricks collectively.
Hmm.
And then we're going to put lights behind it so it gives it more of a shimmering water effect when you're running the waterfall. So I spent maybe the first maybe hour and a half to 2 hours constructing the waterfall, getting that inner structure done,
Hmm.
and then I start breaking up the actual building. On top of that, figure out how to adjust the gray one on top of that, and that was supposed to kind of be our Hail Mary to go up against Aaron and Christian, who wanted to have the biggest tower.
Right.
And I'm like, if for any reason we don't, if we don't get something done, then at least I could do these simple Lego block buildings, put the windows on the side of it, and we could stack that up all the way as long as, the brick pit kept supplying us
Hmm.
with the pieces that I needed for the studs. But Waterfall, nobody ever saw it. It was beautiful. Brickmasters loved it.
Right.
I just never saw it.
The technical producers loved it. The challenge producers, they
Yeah,
loved it. They loved it. The Brickmasters loved it. But for whatever reason, it never made it to the camera.
right. And keep in mind when they're critiquing us, these critiques are lasting anywhere from like 3 to 7 minutes long,
Yeah.
and they're pointing out all of these details. You guys did great with this. You guys did great with that. So depending on how they want to paint the story, you'll only hear bits and pieces of their critique on how they want to paint us. But to tell you the truth, from episode 5 and episode 4, they loved what we did, hands down.
Right. Right. Now, explain more about the building that sits underneath the two Lego bricks. Now, you were
So
able to
with that,
incorporate that.
that was the first thing that I thought of as soon as we was like, all right, you're gonna do your buildings, I'm gonna do my buildings, and that was kind of like where the disjointment began that Brickmaster Amy pointed out. But I was like, what we're going to do is do multi-layer colors
Hmm.
based on
Hmm.
the Lego bricks that we have available. I'm going to do a white layer, which is kind of like iglooed out on
Hmm.
one side, it's curved, and then do a big, what would look like a 2x2 plate, but huge,
Hmm.
and in every color of the rainbow. Every color that they would have given us, I was going to do brown, tan, all of it. But I figured that I'd get more height with the actual Lego brick buildings quicker, but I was ready to go up at least 14 stories with that building.
Right. Yeah, you were. And um, so you were able to lay that building, lay those actually three buildings into one, which gave us some height, a lot of height. And
Yeah.
then so we incorporated the ice skating rink in the center of the park.
Hmm.
And we had people walking around headed to that ugly building, which I call the sporting goods shop. The sporting goods shop. That building looked a lot prettier in my mind. I just, I'm gonna leave colors alone. I'm gonna leave colors alone for whatever reason. Like some people can't dance. I can't see color, so it just, so I'm gonna leave colors alone.
That's good to know halfway through the season.
And so we get to the joint, and see, before we even get to the joint, right? The producers know we're not talking to them. We ain't saying a word to them, right?
Yeah.
And so Will Arnett decides to come over and instigate a fight between me and Aaron. Now I'm kind of trying to be quiet about it. I ain't trying to say much. He trying. Hey, what do you think of their bill? Yeah, it's great. And I'm trying to give him short answers so he move along. And I'm
Right.
looking at you. I'm looking at you. I'm like, and he keeps antagonizing it. And so he was able to get Aaron to bite because Aaron was the first one to throw the punch. So I'm like,
Which
all
they
right,
didn't
well,
show.
which they didn't show. It made it look like it was me. And I'm like,
Yeah, they
man,
trying to make
come
us look
on,
like,
man.
oh, come on.
It made it look like it was me. I'm like, damn, dude, like, here we go again. I'm like, so I tell the kid, right? I tell the kid, hey, look, it looks like, and I'm trying to tell him, look, it looks like you got all your bases covered. That happens when you get punched in the face when the brick masters take your golden brick. You start to pay attention to stuff. And I
Yeah.
guess he caught offense to it because he done said something else, and me and him, we're back and forth again. So I said something I probably shouldn't have said about his tower falling, and what happens? That joint come tumbling down, and you can see my
Spoken
face
to
once
existence.
once all the tables and stuff are pushed in, right? We're back at the display area, and all the tables are pushed in. I feel like crap, bro, and I ain't even gonna lie. I feel like crap. One, I got an empty tower, and I know that's gonna be an issue. Two, I said what I said because I was antagonized to say it, and it came into fruition.
Yeah.
The kid's tower fell down. I'm gonna wish that on nobody. I'm like, but he antagonized me to say it, and so I feel bad. I do, but I don't say nothing. I'm quiet. The camera is all in my face. So you can see my
All day.
thoughts. Yeah, you can see my thoughts. The camera's all in my face. So you can see my thoughts like, it ain't good, you know. And
Yeah.
so we get the twist, right? He comes back in, we get the twist. So now they're giving us 4 hours, right? They're giving us 4 hours to add an attack on our city. Now, you had a nice spin. Tell us about the spin that you had.
So, being that we already have a winter-based theme for the city,
Mm-hmm.
what better for the city to get attacked than by a giant abominable snowman
Mm.
that we playfully named Iceberg the Snowman.
Oh, Iceberg looked like he was drinking on a fifth of liquor with them red eyes.
Oh, he was livid.
Oh, but you know what? In hindsight, I wish I kind of did what Brickmaster Jamie suggested, was to actually break that building in two and make it lean back so that snowball was like creaming the mess out of that building.
Yeah, he definitely threw some shade, towards that building. He was like, I really kind of wish that the snowman would have just completely destroyed the building altogether.
Right.
I'm like, oh, he's getting kind of ballsy right now. Like, really?
Right. I wish you
I mean,
would
I'm
have. I
not
wish you. I
gonna
wish you would
lie,
have told me that at the break, because I would have definitely wiped that off the map.
but bro, this is, I'm gonna probably say what America was thinking and what I was thinking. Why didn't you just take it down for the twist?
Yeah, I
There
probably
were
should have.
two options.
Yeah,
And I did address one. I
you're
was like,
right.
"Yo, bro, we might need to take this building down
Uh huh.
if we're not going to fill it up.
Right.
So you either got to spend this time with the twist, either filling it up or taking it down because it's going to take us down."
Right. Yeah. I should have put more people in, but I was so fixated on the
The
central part, the central,
details.
yeah, the
Yeah,
details in the park, because we were a little bit behind. We didn't have enough snow on the ground, and
right.
so but yeah, man, I wish I'd have had a I wish I'd have had a clear eye view. I wasn't, my mind was clouded, and I ain't gonna lie, I was angry, bro. I was angry from episode 4.
Yeah.
And it's funny because when we were in our interview, that producer said, "Look, I knew you were ready to go. 2 weeks ago, I knew you were ready to go
Yeah.
because it's just like certain games that people play, man. And I can see that, you know, um, you know, did we have we get a fair chance at everybody else? Yeah, because we were on the show, but I don't think we got a fair shake like everybody else. And I'm gonna say I don't think we got a fair shake as everybody else. I think that I think part of our story was that we're competitive, but we never make it. We're competitive, and maybe that was written down in somebody's notes
Yeah.
because we have a couple bills that probably should have been top 2. I'm not saying nothing against the other competitors because they're good, talented, but episode 4, you told me what you told me, and then you retracted what you told me. And I'm telling you, I was still upset.
Now we really prided ourselves on being able to know from jump what this whole show was supposed to be about. It's not a show of talent versus talent. It's a show about a competition.
Hmm.
So it's not an actual competition. I mean, if it had to go, based on who built the best thing, who followed the Brickmaster's advice the best, then
Hmm.
yeah, we would have been top 2 easily, at least a couple of the episodes.
Hmm.
But it's a show to entertain you about what a Lego, competition might look like. So it's not a real competition.
Right.
But we try to go along with the script. We try to figure out what our roles were. And I'm like, bro, like our thing is they know that we're talented. All we got to do is keep performing at the level that they expect us to,
Hmm.
and that's it. Like, don't expect us to go super far or anything like that. They might write us off early. We don't know,
Right. Right.
But I mean, I at least want to make top 3.
Yeah.
That
That's
that
what I
was
was
my
aiming
thing.
for.
We sized up everybody. We saw who was going to probably make top 3. I was like, all right, we belong in a class with them.
Yeah. Yeah.
But apparently, I don't know good TV. I don't know. I'm not a TV producer, so I
Right.
mean,
Right. I got you, bro. I got you. I just, it's a, I probably shouldn't, and I won't say. I'll say it after the lights over. But I just wanted to know how it was when well, I'll just I just want to know how it was. I'll say it after after everything is said and done.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, man. So it's judging time, right? We line up, and we're pent up against Crystal and Amy, and that was a shocker because I'm looking at their Cyberpunk City build, and it
which
was
was
it was
fire.
popping, it was fire, bro. I was like, wait a minute. So that is a point where I think that I'm like, all right, maybe and I'm gonna go back to Idlewild where Andre 3000 said, hey, look, people have their interests and they have their exits, and I think that no matter what they turned in, I think this was their exit. And I probably shouldn't say that, but reality TV ain't real. I say it's scripted. You know, um, and I think that no matter what they turned in, because how you go from number one to being down in the bottom,
Yeah, but I mean,
that's a
it's
lot of
like,
points lost. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot. You must have been asleep during the exam. That's what I'm saying.
well, they put a lot more emphasis on the twist in
Mm-hmm.
this episode than they have in any other episode,
Mm-hmm.
and they had a whole conversation about it. Like, they said that Crystal and Amy's build was awesome,
Right.
but then they kind of like dropped the ball with the twist.
Right.
And I mean, even people like Richard and Flynn, who had they had a dope build, but
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't like visually exciting until the twist
The
really helped it
twist
out.
hit,
It was
yeah,
like,
and they
wow.
bumped up, yeah.
So I mean, well, some people the twist helped it, and some people the twist kind of hurt them.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I don't know. I mean, I honestly didn't expect that. I didn't expect for either one of us to be at the bottom. I thought
I
it
didn't
might have
either.
been Jess and Sam.
Yeah,
Cause, you know, but
because they were giving them grief though about a great building. Remember that they
yeah,
were giving them grief about a great building, and they just didn't see it being a skyscraper or being a pleasing or a cityscape. He put that beanstalk in there, and he even Jamie was like, "Look, I think you're missing the mark."
yeah.
And
So
and so that's what I would think. It probably would be them. And when they called us, man, my heart dropped. But I knew what time it was. I'm thinking like, damn, my thing is this. Look. If I entered this contest by myself and I lost, I'm okay with that. But I entered this contest with you, and if I let you down, now I that's a problem for me. And that's why I was like, man, I think I felt my dude. Like, I'm like, man, I let my anger and my feelings get in the way of something that ain't got nothing to do with this challenge. Get in the way of my of me performing, and now this is on me, and my friend's dreams is coming to an end because of me. And so that that really stuck with me. And and so I'm sitting there with you, and they call Crystal and Amy. It's a wake up call for me. But I noticed that it's competition's getting tight. It's getting cut to the throat, man. And no matter who goes at this point, tears are going to be flowing. But in the end, it is a competition. Somebody got the role by and but it was you could tell it was a very tough call because Brickmaster Amy got all choked up.
yeah, and to be honest, bro, I honestly thought that those tears were for me because like throughout the show, I've been trying to bag Brickmaster Amy. It's no secret. Been kind of flirting with her the whole time. She hasn't been really receptive to it, but I thought that like maybe I got through, and
Right.
she was like, "Damn, I really don't want to see Jermaine go."
Right.
And then I felt like it was the whole like the Infinity War scene where the floating guy told Gamora like those tears, they're not they're for somebody else. I was like, damn. I was like, oh, it's for the girls, really? No, you're not feeling me? No, all
No.
right.
All right, it's gonna be all right, man. You gonna make it, man. You gonna make it. Yeah, man. That was the rap to that, man. But here's the thing with that. It's funny because then, like a couple days ago, I guess Lego Masters decided they were gonna post a photo of us at our table during that challenge with the Brickmasters giving us advice, and it said, Brickmasters give Mel and Jermaine advice. Is it good advice or is it bad advice or something like that? And it's like, yeah. And you thinking about it because they did say, hey, we like the colors, we like what you're doing. He even gave me tips on the height of that the windows should be.
Yeah,
They told me to
it
keep
did.
rolling with it. So I'm like, all right, well, I'm gonna just keep rolling with it. Because had he said, nah, I think that's ugly, this and that, blah blah blah, you need to reevaluate, I'd have knocked that whole joint down.
Yeah, so I mean that I kind of felt like might have been slightly misleading. I mean misleading because it's like, all right, like you had like kind of like two different buildings sitting on top of each other,
Right.
and it would have been difficult, especially considering I was almost done with my first building, to show the consistency throughout the whole thing. And I think that's what Brickmaster Amy was saying.
Right.
Like they want to see consistency to make it seem like it's built by the same developers.
Right. Right.
And yeah, that's why I try to make mine as small as possible
Mm-hmm.
to make it easier to build the build. Like you were kind of building it like an actual minifigure scale,
Right.
and I was doing like maybe a micro
scale.
scale.
Yeah.
Because that way you get more, get more windows in. And I was kind of following the lead set by the actual buildings that were still in the gallery.
Right. Yeah, and that was it, man. That was on my mind too. The buildings in the gallery, but I think we proved that we could work well together. Is when we like that project we were deciding to like, all right, you gonna build what you build, I'm gonna build what I build, and it didn't work out for us. So that was a lesson learned. We probably should have worked on the about the same stuff together and to hammer it out. But I mean, it's a lesson learned, and you get better. You roll with the punches. So the winners, right? The winners. All right. So they put down Boone and Mark and Aaron and Christian. I'm gonna say this, I ain't got nothing against Aaron and Christian. I don't. Those my brothers. I think that they're built. I think they're excellent builders, man. They're my man teaches engineering to kids, so his builds are gonna be excellent. No, hands down. You can't dispute that at all. But I don't think that they were. I don't think they should have been in the top two that challenge. I don't think they should have been in the top two that challenge. I think that it was probably like Mark and Boone, and I think that it was Tyler and Amy. Even though it was just the craftsmanship of their build was just over the top. I mean, if Crystal and Amy had to be in the bottom two, it would be Tyler and Amy, and Mark and Boone for me.
I don't know. I mean, like, I I wouldn't say. I mean, I would definitely go with Mark and Boone. I'm not sure about Tyler and Amy, only because like this is the first challenge that you see that they were kind of like shaken up and they didn't really know what they wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
Took them the longest to get started, and I don't even think that they were like 100% satisfied with the outcome or the idea that they rolled with. It's like, all right, we got to put something together. It's still going to be dope because it's Tyler and Amy.
Right.
But I mean, I felt like if they had more time to plan, they would have definitely blew it out the water and been in the top two.
Yeah.
But my second slot for the top two would have probably been actually Richard and Flynn.
Richard and Flynn? Okay, I can see that.
They had some solid buildings. They nailed the color. They didn't really have the height, so it wasn't really mega, but it was that twist that really like pulled you in, and that's what earned them the whole animation slot. So
okay.
But I mean, had Crystal and Amy's twist been a little bit stronger, I would have definitely gone with them for the second slot for the top two.
For the top two, yeah,
Their buildings, I was jealous.
Yeah, that was cyberpunk, man. I like cyberpunk stuff, man. They nailed that bill bad. Boy, they nailed it.
Those girls surprised the hell out of me when they pulled that out, and I was like, wait, their table's all the way down to the ground and it's still that tall?
Right.
Like,
they were killing it. Yeah, they were killing it. Yeah. Kudos to them. So we're into week number 6, man. It's gonna be the Bridge Challenge.
Yes.
It's gonna be the Bridge Challenge. We will talk about it next episode. You'll see us here on this channel here, Iceberg Bricks. This is Iceberg. That's BX Bricks.
Yes.
We'll catch you next time.
Peace.